I think that was a great introduction. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Before I start, I would like to thank the organizers for allowing me to share my thoughts with you all. This is the second time that Julian has asked me to take part in GibTalks, but my reason for not wanting to be here was purely because I thought no one would be interested in what I had to say. This time I thought I would not be rude and turn him down again. I thought I have to do this for the dance fraternity and for my students and put myself in a position that is not my comfort zone. I much rather dance. But in life we have to grab the bull by the horns and get on with it. So here I am. You must be wondering why my title is You're Not Good at English. I will enlighten you. So this beautiful looking young nun decided I was not good at English and therefore was unable to take my GCSE. Instead, the dreaded CSE, which incidentally, in my dad's eyes, was rubbish unless you got a 1. Next scene, I had to tell my dad, the then head of the art department at the Girls' Comprehensive, I was not going to be allowed to do GCSE. Sister Mary Ball had branded me inadequate. I must add, if I may, that my older sister Yvette, 4 years older than me, who I very much looked up to, got 9 1s for her GCSEs. Follow that, Paulette. I don't mean for 1 second that my parents, or at least my dad, ever mentioned that to me, but I felt the pressure of having to live up to that benchmark. Little petite me get 9 1s, but I was not good at English. I was only passionate or good at one thing, or at least so people said. My sanctuary was Bayside Drama Studio, where I was on fire. I was free. I was understood. I was beaming. I was elated. I was alive. But I was not good at English. I was good at singing, although Mr. Cortez didn't want me in the choir. I wonder why. I was very good at guitar and was even part of the guitar ensemble, even if I did have to hide behind everyone else on television, because my guitar was not shiny and new. Instead, it was spray-painted silver, all rock and roll, a hand-me-down from my cousin Louis Finlayson. The late William Gomez always used to say, "One day that guitar is going to disintegrate in your hands." However, he did realize that my strength lay in musicality and that the time had come to choose between playing the guitar or dancing, and wisely advised me that I focus on my dance. When I told my dad that I should get a new guitar, he said, "You tell him I'll buy you a new one when you learn how to play." Imagine saying that to a girl in this day and age. Parents would beg, steal or borrow para que la niña tenga la guitarra más shiny nueva de todo el class. Well, I certainly learned how to play, but my passion was elsewhere to be unleashed. Of course, I hope you have all noted I was not good at English. But I was good at improvisation. Well, my mentor, my savior besides my dad, of course, Mario Arroyo, a wizard, my fairy godfather, plucked me from the wrath of English. But I was experimenting with English. I was, after all, in the Bayside Drama Studio, exposed to words, language, music, imagination, where I was good at English because I was understood, because I was working to my strength, my capacity to communicate without words, but yet absorb my audience and make them cry, laugh, engage, and take them on a journey which we all understood, the language of dance, But remember, I was not good at English. Lo and behold, after 2 years, and having got to accomplish staying in school for A-levels, and guess what? Doing history of art, art and Spanish, I endeavored into the most exciting and challenging paths I'd ever taken. I was auditioning to become a professional dancer. The reaction of family and friends. What the bleep? Everyone was gobsmacked. ¿Qué dice la niña? ¿Que se va a estudiar baile? This was 1979. No está buena de la cabeza. Bueno, sale el padre que no la metió en typing lessons para que tuviera un trabajo fijo en el gobierno. Tú sabes, el artista Mario Finlayson, ¿qué espera? By this time, I had also been taking formal ballet lessons with Jennifer Seiler and was still part of the youth theatre. Supported by my parents and against all odds, I got into the now most prestigious contemporary dance schools in Europe, Laban Center, now known as Trinity Laban. And most significantly, I got my GCSE English with a B. Attending evening classes with the late Mr. Ryan. I may still not be good at English, but I'm still trying to be good at dancing. I'm lucky to have a good support network because I may not have been good at English at that point in time, but I was good at something. This is just an observation and not a criticism of my teacher. Sister Mary Ball may have thought that her advice was the best thing for me at that time. She nevertheless did not realize the impact her decision had on me and how I perceived myself. When I embarked on a career in teaching dance, I tried very hard, and still do, to encourage the individual and work on their strengths and not dwell on their weaknesses. Each child develops at their own pace, and this requires a lot of patience and time and progression. In the current climate, teachers seem to be under a lot of pressure to meet the benchmark of attainment targets. I'll have a little bit of a drink. Thank you. Having to achieve straight A's or A stars, to show them off, written on their arms, of course, put in social media to make sure that everyone knows they have done well. But have they? I believe the hardest point and crucial ingredient is to entice the student to want to learn, to be inquisitive. How do we fulfill our roles as educators? How do we make children listen to us? Because without being present of mind, or mindful, the inward, how can we inspire them to want to read, to want to do their mathematics, to want to do their history? I am a great believer that we need to interlace all subjects as they all support each other. How music is mathematical in concept and yet emotional in feeling. I have pursued this path in my dance teaching, and although many may see it as just a physical feat, there is so much more to explore. Communication is paramount and language essential to the core. We need to be clear as to what we want to impart on our students. They make you become better teachers when they realize that this is a partnership and that we are allies and not enemies. Once you have their trust, the possibilities are endless, the adventure unknown. In my 32 years as a dancer and teacher, I have taught thousands of children. We have achieved things we never thought possible because we believed we could. More than 10 students are now currently in vocational dance schools and professional dance careers, a historical achievement, having nurtured a male dancer all the way to becoming a professional ballet dancer, currently working in the Polish National Ballet, is no mean feat. Believe in yourself, follow your passion, and seek the right support. Celebrate your uniqueness, and by all means, try to be good at English, but follow your dreams. I leave you with some images. A picture paints 1,000 words. Thank you.